Who controls your mind controls the universe, asserted Epictetus. The mind is a restless force, like an ocean in perpetual motion. It travels between waves of reflections, anxieties, and fears, making us prisoners of this internal storm. However, there is a mystery that few have discovered. It is possible to find tranquility at the center of the storm. Stoicism reveals to us that even when the environment around us seems to collapse, peace of mind is a choice, an exercise. We live in a time of turmoil. At every moment we are flooded by stimuli, distractions, and amplified chaos that invades our thinking. News, social media, obligations, everything competes for our attention. The mind, fragile in the face of so many impulses, becomes confused, agitated. The result, anxiety, stress, and a distancing from the serenity we so desire. But what if I told you that the solution is closer than you imagine? It lies in the silence between thoughts, in the intervals we neglect to notice. Stoicism, the philosophy of the wise, guides us back to simplicity. It teaches us that true peace does not come from controlling the external, but from internal mastery. It is not about silencing the world, but about learning to silence oneself. As we learn to navigate the depths of our being, we discover that calm is not a fleeting state, but a territory we can occupy even in the greatest storms. And today, I want to guide you through 6 simple yet impactful ways to pacify your mind, inspired by Stoic wisdom. Let's dive together into these teachings that can transform your relationship with life's challenges. With each step, you will be closer to finding the tranquility that has always been inside you. Therefore, at this moment, I invite you to declare in the comments, pacifying the mind is the power. And of course, don't forget to leave your like and subscribe to the channel. 1. Breathe deeply like a warrior admiring the firmament. The human essence evolves by overcoming restlessness and connecting with the peace of the natural environment, proclaimed Seneca. Breathing, such a basic instinctive act, often gets lost in the daily hustle. But what happens when we give full attention to this essential act, when we stop merely existing and start breathing with truth? In Stoicism, we discover that breathing is a robust tool. It is the connection between the physical and the mental, the link that unites the now to the tranquility we so seek. With each inhalation, it is as if we draw the cosmos inward, and with each exhalation, we expel the burden, the worries, the anxieties that surround us. Breathing deeply is more than a temporary relief. It is an act of command, a return to the core of our existence. Visualize a warrior atop a mountain, contemplating the sky. He recognizes that life's battles are inevitable, but he also understands that mastery over himself, over his mind, begins with control of the breath. Before each battle, before each critical decision, he breathes deeply, feels the air invade his lungs, life penetrate every cell of his being, and in that fleeting moment, he realizes that calm is not elsewhere, not on the battlefield, nor in the solutions the world offers. True serenity is within him, and this is the essence of Stoic practice. When we breathe deeply with full awareness, we reconnect with the present. The past and the future cease to oppress us because, for a brief moment, the only focus is the air entering and leaving the body. In Stoicism, we believe that the agitated mind often gets lost in what has already happened or what is yet to come. But the breath is the reminder that the now is all we truly possess. Allow yourself to feel each inhalation as if it were the first time you breathe. Feel the cool air enter your nostrils, travel down your throat, fill your lungs. As you do this, notice how your body reacts. Tense muscles relax. The pressure in your mind begins to diminish. Deep breathing is like the wind that extinguishes the fire of anxiety. It is a practice so simple, so within our reach, and yet so underestimated. Throughout the day, we are often seized by moments of stress, decisions to make, and pressures that seem to suffocate us. But amid all this, we always have the power to stop and breathe. Yes, just breathe. And in that brief interval, we have the opportunity to regain control. We have the chance to remember that the power over our mind is in our hands. or rather in our lungs. When the mind races, when thoughts collide, breathe deeply. Remember the warrior admiring the sky. He does not despair in the face of the unknown. He does not fear what is to come because he knows that the breath is his invisible armor. It is what keeps him steady when the world around trembles. There is ancient wisdom in every act of breathing. In Stoic philosophy, we find the notion that the mind can only be tamed when the body is under control, and controlling the breath is the first step to mastering the body, to calming the restless spirit. By cultivating this simple practice, you are, in fact, training your mind not to be shaken by external storms. You are strengthening the ability to remain serene amid chaos, so the next time you feel overwhelmed, remember, your breath is your refuge. Turn to it as a sage turns to meditation. Feel the air entering, feel the air exiting. With each inhalation, bring calm to your being. With each exhalation, release accumulated tensions. This practice, as simple as it may seem, carries within it the secret of serenity. It is the gateway to a tranquil mind, a peaceful heart, and a life that is not disturbed by the tides of the world. And when the moment of uncertainty arrives, and it always does, remember this phrase from Seneca: the human essence evolves when it overcomes restlessness and connects with the peace of the natural environment. Just as the warrior observes the sky in silence before the battle, observe the rhythm of your own breath and find within you the serenity that the world can never steal. 2. Muffle the clamor of the universe around you. If you wish to be strong, learn to live as if you were isolated, affirmed Epictetus. The universe is saturated with clamor. They emanate from every corner, from television, from smartphones, from the people around us. And these clamor transform into noise, invading our thoughts like an incessant hurricane of words, judgments, and expectations. However, there is a reality that Stoicism unveils to us. We do not need all this clamor to discover true serenity. We need to learn to muffle the clamor of the universe so that we can hear the most vital sound of all, the internal silence. Muffling the clamor is not a gesture of physical isolation, but an exercise in choice. We decide which clamor to pay attention to and, in the process, filter what is truly essential. The Stoic understands that the mind is a garden and that each thought is like a seed. If we allow the universe to plant seeds of agitation, anxiety, and confusion in our minds, we will reap a storm. But if we know how to close the doors to the excess of clamor, we will cultivate a space where only what is necessary flourishes. Silence is the fertile ground of tranquility. View silence not as an absence of sound, but as the presence of something greater. Silence is the space where thoughts find order, where chaos is undone, and where we can discover the wisdom hidden behind so much noise. By learning to muffle the universe around us, we create space for our mind to breathe, to reorganize, to renew. Imagine yourself on a tumultuous day. Traffic clamors, social media blinks incessantly, people chatter, obligations call. Everything around you tries to capture your attention for itself. Now, imagine taking a step back. Breathe deeply, and with closed eyes, watch that noise fade away one by one. Each sound, each interruption, each clamor fades away. What remains? The sound of your own breath, the sound of your heart beating slowly. It is in this space that you will find the silence you so seek, a silence that is not absence, but presence. Presence of calm, of lucidity, of mastery. Stoicism teaches us that true power lies in choosing our reactions, not in the circumstances that surround us. And to choose well, we need space to reflect, to listen to our inner voice. But how to listen to this voice amid so many sounds? Silence is the answer. When we muffle the external clamor, our mind quiets, our emotions calm, and finally, we can hear our own wisdom. There is a transformative power in choosing silence. When the universe is agitated, when it seems that everything around you demands an immediate response, choose silence. Wait, breathe, Give yourself the gift of pause. Do not let yourself be dragged by the current of clamor. Remember, the things that matter most in life usually arise when we are in silence. Love, wisdom, lucidity, all these are born in the pauses, in the moments of introspection, when the noise fades and silence reigns. When you disconnect from the external world, something magical happens. The worries that once seemed urgent begin to dissolve. The problems that occupied your mind lose their power. In silence, the mind finds space to reorganize priorities, to see clearly what truly matters. And what is essential always emerges in the midst of silence. The great Stoics practiced silence as an art. Marcus Aurelius, in his moments of solitude, reflected on the nature of the universe and his own essence. By freeing ourselves from external distractions, we are able to approach the true essence of being. Silence, for the Stoics, was a tool of power, a way to protect oneself against the chaos of the universe and maintain focus on what is truly important. When the noise of the universe tries to steal your peace, remember that you have a choice. You can close your eyes and muffle everything around you. You can, with a simple act of will, create a space where the external world has no power over you. In silence, you remember that you are the master of your own mind. You are not a hostage to chaos, but the creator of your own peace. And when that peace arrives, when silence finally replaces the noise, you will see the world with new eyes. What once seemed urgent now dissolves. What once disturbed you loses importance, because in silence you found something much more precious. You found yourself. 3. Walk calmly, as if each step touched gold. To rush through existence is to miss the essence of the journey, declared Seneca. The most basic and perhaps most effective way to soothe the spirit lies in something we do every day, often automatically, walking. But what if I told you that the act of walking, when done with full attention, can be a powerful tool to calm the mental tumult? Yes, my dear, walking calmly, as if each step were valuable, reconnects us to the now and undoes the distractions that overload our spirit. Imagine yourself for a moment walking through a green field, with the sun gently touching your skin. The universe around you is vast, but all that matters is the contact of your feet with the ground. With each step, the earth beneath your feet feels firm, reliable, and a sense of gratitude arises for each movement. The simple act of walking, something we do daily without thinking, here becomes an active meditation, a practice of mindfulness. Walking slowly reconnects us to the natural rhythm of life. We live in haste, always in a rush to reach somewhere, whether physically or mentally. Our mind is dragged by future worries or past memories, but the now, the only moment that truly exists, gets lost in this uncontrolled race. When we slow down, when each step becomes conscious, it is as if we breathe again, perceive the world in its entirety. In Stoicism, we learn the importance of appreciating the now, of finding calm in the present moment. Walking slowly, intentionally, is a way to embody this philosophy. When walking mindfully, there is no future to be reached, nor past to regret. There is only the now. Each step is a silent declaration that you are exactly where you should be. And in this state, the mind, once overloaded by so many distractions, finds relief. The beauty of walking slowly lies in the simplicity of the act. While walking, observe the environment around you, but not with the hurried gaze of someone just passing by. Notice how the wind stirs the leaves of the trees, how the sunlight creates soft shadows along the path. Listen to the sound of your steps on the ground, feel the rhythm of your breath. This connection with what is real, with what is tangible, is an antidote to mental agitation. However, it is not just about observing what is outside. As you walk calmly, you begin to observe what is within. How is your breathing? How are your thoughts? Are they calm or agitated? Allow yourself to notice without judging, just observe. As you walk with awareness, you become the observer of yourself, and in this state, the mind begins to calm. The whirlwind of thoughts becomes just a light breeze, something you notice, but that does not dominate you. Walking slowly also teaches us patience. We live in an era of immediacy, where everything needs to be done quickly, where value is in rushing to reach somewhere. But in Stoicism, we learn that value is in the journey, not the destination. Each step is an opportunity to be present, to be at peace. When we allow ourselves to walk slowly, we are, in fact, practicing acceptance of the present moment, and this acceptance is one of the keys to calming the mind. Another powerful dimension of this act is that it invites us to let go of control. By walking slowly, you realize that you don't need to hurry things, that the world around you will continue to spin at its own pace. This understanding brings a deep sense of tranquility because the desire for control, for everything to happen quickly or the way we want, is one of the greatest sources of anxiety. But by walking calmly, with patience, we accept that we do not have control over time, and this acceptance frees us. And even in an urban environment, surrounded by the noise of the city, you can find this peace. Walk the streets with this intention of slowing down, of paying attention to each movement. It doesn't matter the chaos around you, it matters the serenity you cultivate within. It is not the environment that calms the mind, but the attitude with which we traverse it. The next time you go out for a walk, don't rush. Don't make this moment a race to reach somewhere. Walk as if each step were a celebration, as if you were stepping on gold. The agitated mind needs pauses, moments of connection with the body and the present, and the simple act of walking mindfully can be that pause, that breath that allows you to find peace amid the turmoil. And remember, he who masters his mind masters the world. Let each step you take be an act of mastery over yourself, of reconnection with the present. 4. Listen to your body as one appreciates a song. The consciousness that rises and calms in harmony with the body finds peace in each gesture, declared Seneca. The physical and the psychic are intertwined, like the strings of a guitar. If one is out of tune, the entire symphony of existence resonates in disharmony. In Stoicism, we understand that stability is not only a mental aspect, but also a physical one. Listening to the body, perceiving it, understanding its demands and its stresses is like deciphering an internal symphony, a delicate melody that we often neglect in the face of external noise. Consider for a moment, what if you could listen to your body as you listen to the sounds of the natural environment, paying attention to each nuance, each alert? You know that weight on your shoulders, that discomfort in your back, or that tension in your jaw. These are clear warnings that your mind is overloaded. Your body is a physical mirror of your mind's state, and the more you disregard it, the more it cries out for attention, for relief, for recovery. Throughout life, we become accustomed to overloading the body, to ignoring its call. It's like walking a path full of stones without noticing that each one is hurting us. But the Stoic knows that the agitated mind only finds peace when the body is in harmony with it. The wise one is the one who, upon feeling discomfort, stops and observes, without judgment but with presence. He recognizes that there is an indissoluble link between internal tranquility and physical state. Now close your eyes for a moment, breathe deeply, and bring your attention to your body as if you were listening to a delicate melody. Notice the position in which you are sitting or standing. Are you comfortable? Is there tension in your shoulders? Are the muscles relaxed or contracted? Notice how your breathing is. Is it short and shallow or long and serene? Each detail of your body is a reflection of your mind. If there is tension in the body, there is imbalance in the mind. If there is relaxation in the body, the mind accompanies the flow of tranquility. The act of listening to the body is like tuning in to the beats of a drum, a constant rhythm that can lead us to chaos or calm. When you are attentive to your tensions, to small pains and discomforts, you are, in fact, opening yourself to the present. Stoicism teaches us that living in the now is the key to peace, and the body is the vehicle that keeps us anchored in the present. Be kind to yourself. Sometimes life demands so much from us that we forget to stop, breathe, and release the bonds of tension that bind us. Try moving consciously. Whether stretching or walking, feel each step as if you were treading on sacred ground. The body deserves this respect, this full attention. Just as the Stoic observes the world without judgment, observe your body with compassion as one discovers an old tree, strong and resilient, but also bearing the marks of time. And remember, the body is not a machine that can be forced to operate indefinitely without rest, without care, without attention, without a pause to breathe. Try, throughout your day, to take small breaks to listen to your body. Stretch, move the muscles that are contracted, adjust your posture. Small gestures like these are acts of profound wisdom. They are like tuning an instrument so that it plays its most harmonious melody. Each time you listen to your body, you are getting closer to a state of calm, of serenity. And calm is not just physical, it reverberates in the mind, because when the body is relaxed, the mind calms. It is no coincidence that great masters and sages throughout history have always connected physical care with mental balance. The body is the temple where the mind resides, and if this temple is in harmony, the mind can flourish in peace. Stoic philosophy reminds us that everything outside our control should be accepted with serenity. However, taking care of our body is one of the few things we can control, and this is a responsibility we must honor. With each conscious gesture, with each full movement, you are exercising this control, cultivating calm within you. Listening to the body is an act of wisdom. It speaks in whispers, but these whispers, if listened to, can transform the inner storm into calm. What is it telling you now? What tensions does it carry? Allow yourself to release them with each breath, with each gentle movement. Allow your body to be your guide on the journey to a calm mind. So when you feel that your mind is on the brink of chaos, remember, listen to your body, for it carries the answers your mind cannot find. Like a silent melody, it will guide you back to calm, to serenity, to deep peace. 5. Free yourself from the shackles of the past. The consciousness that clings to what has been lives in captivity. Only the current moment is synonymous with freedom, declared Seneca. The past. How many times have we found ourselves trapped by it, like sailors stranded in oceans of regret, frustrations, and sorrows? The mind, this incessant travel companion, insists on revisiting the mistakes we made, the words left unsaid, the opportunities we let slip by. Each painful memory we hold on to is like a tight knot in our spirit, preventing us from moving forward, stopping us from savoring the present. Yet here's the mystery. These knots can be undone, and by learning to release them, we discover the true freedom to experience the now. The past is static. It is a book whose pages have already been written, and no matter how hard we try, we cannot rewrite the chapters that have closed. Stoicism guides us to accept this reality with tranquility. We are mere human beings, prone to mistakes and missteps. However, our mind has a cruel tendency to trap us in these moments, revisiting each mistake, each moment of pain, as if somehow we could change what happened. But, dear listener, the past cannot be changed. It can only be accepted. Undoing the knots of the past begins with the simple gesture of accepting what has happened. Acceptance, however, does not mean agreeing or justifying. Acceptance is facing what occurred and saying, "This is part of my journey," but it does not define who I am now. By accepting, you let go of the rope that kept the knot tight. You stop nourishing the emotional weight that these memories carry and begin to breathe more freely, more liberated. A practical exercise to free yourself from these knots is mindful reflection. Ask yourself, what am I still holding on to? What memories, what resentments still bind me to the past? Sometimes these answers come quickly, other times they are deeply hidden. But by bringing these knots to light, you gain the chance to release them, to let go of what no longer serves you. Another valuable practice is self-compassion. Often we are our harshest judges. We punish ourselves for mistakes made, as if suffering were a form of atonement. However, Stoicism reminds us that mental self-flagellation does not lead to wisdom, but to paralysis. Instead, grant yourself the compassion you would offer a friend. Forgive yourself for your mistakes, for your missteps. Acknowledge that imperfection is part of the human condition. Be a teacher, but not an executioner. Learning from past mistakes is crucial, but constantly reliving them is unnecessary. Stoic wisdom lies in finding balance, absorbing what the past has to teach and then letting it go. For ultimately, the present is the only reality over which we have control. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus instructs us, what is beyond your control should not concern you, but what is within your reach now is what truly matters. When you undo the knots of the past, something incredible happens. The mind, once agitated and overloaded, begins to calm. The burden of recalling what was or what could have been dissolves. You begin to realize that the present is where your true strength lies, and this strength, this peace, can only be experienced when you decide that the past has already played its role. Each undone knot is a new chance to start over. It doesn't matter how deep the mistake was or how great the loss. By letting go of the past, you open yourself to the present. And in the present you find calm, serenity, and the power to be what you always wanted to be, free. Free from the chains that bound your mind to pain, remorse, and guilt. At the end of the day, what really matters is not what has been, but what you choose to do now. Choose to let go of what binds you. Choose to calm your mind by undoing, one by one, the knots that kept it captive. For as the wise Stoics taught us, living in the present is the greatest gift we can give ourselves. 6. Let go of the desire for control, just as the sky releases the rain. Some things are within our control and others are not, proclaimed Epictetus. Letting go of control is one of the most challenging tasks for the human spirit. We are conditioned from an early age to try to shape the events around us. We think that by controlling the outcome of every circumstance, we can avoid suffering, frustration, and uncertainty. However, what Stoicism reveals to us is precisely the opposite. The relentless pursuit of control is what imprisons us, while the act of letting go, of allowing life to flow naturally, is what truly liberates us. Observe the sky laden with dark clouds before a storm. Nature does not try to hold back the rain. When the time comes, the sky simply lets go and the rain falls. Each drop descends without hesitation, without questioning its destiny. It falls because it must, and the sky does not resist. So it should be with our lives. Often we find ourselves accumulating tensions, trying to impose outcomes, anxious about every detail of what we cannot control. But like the sky releasing the rain, we too must learn to let go of these expectations. The central problem in our quest for control is the illusory sense of security it provides. We want to control what people think of us. We want to direct the course of events. We even want to control our own emotions. However, life is unpredictable, fluid, and no matter how hard we try to shape it to our will, it will follow its own path. True peace comes when we accept this reality, when we stop fighting against the flow of events and allow them to take their natural course. When we try to control the uncontrollable, we generate tensions within ourselves. Our mind becomes overloaded with worries about what may or may not happen. We become trapped in scenarios that have not even materialized. It is like trying to hold sand tightly in your hand. The tighter you squeeze, the more it escapes through your fingers. Stoic serenity teaches us to open our hands, to embrace the flow of life, allowing things to be as they are. Ask yourself, what do you really control? Your thoughts, your emotions, the actions of others, the weather? The truth is that the Stoic recognizes that very little is under his control. We can control our reactions, our judgments, but not the events themselves. Therefore, the wise one understands that mental tranquility arises from acceptance. Acceptance is not resignation. It is not surrendering to chance without action. Acceptance is understanding that life has its own choreography, and instead of resisting, you choose to dance with it. Perhaps you are facing challenges today, situations that seem beyond your reach. It could be a relationship that is falling apart, an expectation that was not met, or an opportunity that slipped through your fingers. The mind's first reaction is to try to solve, manipulate, adjust what is wrong. However, not everything needs to be fixed. Stoicism teaches that true freedom arises when we accept things as they are and stop fighting against what we cannot change. By letting go of control, you become lighter, like the sky that clears after the storm. Your mind will also become clear, open to what truly matters. The attachment to control is what blinds us, preventing us from seeing the beauty of the present moment, the wisdom contained in the natural flow of life. When we detach from the desire to control, we begin to trust. Trust in what is to come. Trust that, whatever the outcome, you have the strength to deal with it. Rain falls from the sky without resistance because it understands that this is its function, and the sky, by releasing the rain, becomes blue again, clear, ready for new cycles. Similarly, when we release control, we create space within us for calm, for clarity, for the rebirth of our internal strengths. The practice of letting go of control is an act of courage. It is trusting that even if we cannot predict the future, we can prepare to face it wisely. It is a conscious surrender where we choose to live in the present moment instead of trying to predict and manipulate tomorrow. In the end, true wisdom lies in recognizing that life follows its course and that our strength lies in how we react to it, not in how we try to control it. Stoicism reminds us of this, guides us to a freedom that goes beyond external control. Because, as Epictetus said, some things are within our control and others are not. Knowing the difference is the secret to calming the mind. As we traverse these 6 paths of tranquility, it is crucial to remember that peace is not a final destination, but a daily exercise. The mind, like the ocean, will always have its ripples, its tides that rise and fall. The secret lies in learning to sail these waters with discernment, patience, and acceptance. Stoicism reveals that although we cannot control the events around us, we always have the option to choose how we react to them. And it is in this choice that our true power lies. Each of these techniques is a small key, unlocking doors to a more serene state of mind, more aligned with what truly matters. If you have persisted until here, it shows that you are committed to this journey to achieve more inner peace, and that is truly significant. Leave your comment below. I stayed until the end, so I know you are determined to incorporate these Stoic lessons into your life. And of course, if this content has brought you new perspectives and inspiration, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Together, we will continue to uncover this philosophy of life that makes us more resilient, wiser, and more tranquil.